Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. We're back, and we have amazing stats to start the podcast with. We tallied, in the 2 weeks that we were gone, we tallied 33 primetime shows, out of which written or co-written by women, actually it's a little bit of a drop. It's 15, which is 45%, but directed by a woman, 22, which is 2/3, 67%. Woo!
Whoa! And if we had just done a week, we would have had like 71%.
Yeah, the first week we really had,
I think we were at 71 or 72%. It was like, oh my God, let's stop counting now. You know, it was unbelievable.
Yes, but we are professionals,
Yes,
and we didn't want to skew the results. But anyway, it's really exciting. I mean, and it was a kind of diverse kind of a area of shows. We didn't do like when we binge on 10 episodes of the same show. We actually did a lot of different kinds.
They're all done by women. Yeah, we did. Even some Fear the Walking Dead had
women directors and writers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to start with something we promised you that we're going to talk about, and we're so excited about it.
So excited.
It is a new Australian show starring Lucy Lawless. And I have to tell you, people, I never watched Xena. It's not my genre. I understand all the things around it, but it's really not my genre, so I never watched it. And so I never quite understood the Lucy Lawless bonanza. And I have to tell you, I get it now. There's something about her that's so charismatic, so appealing, and so charming.
She looks fantastic in this series, and she plays a very insouciant kind of character. She's got lots of moxie and
so the series is called My Life is Murder. It's a new show that actually premiered on Network 10 in Australia last Wednesday, July 17th, and it's coming to the US courtesy of our favorite streaming service, Acorn TV, beginning Monday, August 5th, and they're going to show the first 2 episodes at once, and then they're going to release a new one every Monday. It was created by Claire Tonkin. And Lucy Lawless plays an ex-detective, Alexa, who is now she's not really a private investigator. She's a bread maker.
She just likes to make bread. She takes it to her favorite coffee shop, too.
She's supposed to be retired.
Yeah. But
Bernard Curry, who is a detective right now, who I guess used to work with her, and they have a close relationship, brings her all his kind of most complicated cases or cold cases, things that they haven't made.
Three, usually a few to choose from.
Yes.
But there's always one that he really wants her to do. So the other 2 cases are always
not interesting.
Exactly.
They have a very cute relationship,
yes.
And there's also Ebony Vagulans. I'm sorry if I mispronounce her name.
In case you're listening.
She is kind of like a research techie person, and she loves Alexa. I think she kind of has a crush on her. No, not really, but she has a girl crush on her.
She has a girl crush on her, and
she considers her a mentor.
Right.
Though, if you ask Alexa,
doesn't she want to be a detective? She must work for the police department.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She does. She works for Bernard Curry's character, and I think actually has the hots for him. But Alexa is known to be one of the best, and so she wants to learn from her, and so she's willing to take her very abysmal treatment.
I would say abusive. If there was HR involved, there could be problems, and I don't mean sexual. I just mean. But she likes her.
Yeah,
they have.
That's the dance that they do.
Yeah.
So those are the main 3 characters. There are going to be a lot of guest stars, including Danielle Cormack, who was already in 1 episode. Honestly, I don't really think that she's likely to come back, but who knows? The first and the 3rd episodes so far, we've seen the first 3, were directed by Leah Purcell. So as you see, it's all in the family.
And the tone is light. I mean, there are
Very
murders, and
Well, it's called My Life is Murder.
It's kind of like Murder, She Wrote, but with a sexier protagonist. I mean,
you've just enraged a lot of gay men.
I adore Angela Lansbury, but sexy, I would not call her in Murder, She Wrote. But it's that kind of a tone.
Yeah, it's very fun, and even though it's called My Life is Murder, and it is all about these really violent
cases,
violent cases, but they managed to make it extremely light. She does a lot of things that I don't know how she gets away with, seeing that she is no longer a detective and she doesn't need warrants to do anything. She just breaks into people's houses. She always likes in the end, she always likes to confront her, the suspect that she uncovered as the whodunit. But she is so witty. She's so cute. She has kind of this dry humor.
Doesn't she? What is it? We're watching something where they have a consultant card that they always flash that means nothing.
I don't know. But no, she always pretends to just be a normal person. She doesn't reveal that she's anything but a normal person. And that's how she gets to all these places. But it's also about her life. It's about the trouble she has with her neighbors and her love life and other things. It's really, really fun. We really would have watched all three at once. We watched two and then another. And we can't wait to watch all of it. So, My Life is Murder, Lucy Lawless' new TV show.
You will really enjoy it. And you Lucy Lawless fans are going to go wild.
Really?
Because she is really hot in this.
I
mean, I hate to be...
Shallow?
Shallow.
Well, you're not shallow because you love her anyway, and that's like an added bonus.
Well, I loved Battlestar Galactica, many, many shows that I've watched her in, even the worst season of L Word.
Oh, yes. Even she couldn't salvage that.
Right.
So, My Life is Murder, right now in Australia and premiering on Acorn TV August 5th. Make sure to watch it. We give it a thumbs
up. Now, we're going to talk about something that we've talked about before. It's not new. It's season 4, Animal Kingdom.
On TNT.
And we're sort of getting bored with it a little bit. And it's even started out a little bit slow. But this season has turned into one of the best seasons. We can't wait from week to week to see it. We really can't. It's just very exciting. There's been a twist that has
really moved things
changed
along.
The dynamics a lot, and you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and this is kind of why we wanted to tell you about it, because we were so bored with it at the beginning of the season.
We were forcing ourselves to watch it.
Yeah, and so we want to tell you, if you're previously an Animal Kingdom fan who has been tired and bored with this new season and was considering giving it up, or if you've let it accumulate on a DVR and didn't bother to watch it. Yeah, it really does get better. It gets much better.
Exceptionally good.
Yeah.
And I also like the addition of Emily Deschanel to the cast. And
the one thing I actually could do without is the flashbacks, the constant flashbacks. I love Layla George, who plays Ellen Barkin's character Smurf when she was younger. But I was okay with a few flashbacks, but then to have every single episode involve like half and half, it's too much for me.
I think I know why they're doing it. And I don't want to give away
don't give away.
But I think I know why they're doing it.
I think you're right.
And
but again, I think it's the balance. It should have been less.
She's wonderful, though.
Yes, she is.
She's really, really good. She's the daughter of Vincent D'Onofrio and Greta Scacchi. She's a very beautiful girl, and she's a good actress. And she captures her essence as a young Smurf's essence of.
When it just started, no, because she grew into that.
She has a little bit of,
but it is interesting to see where she came from. But it takes me out of the plot.
And the plot is so good. What is happening now is so much more interesting than what happened then.
Exactly.
The only thing interesting about what happened then is Smurf
and how she became Smurf.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really recommend it. Everybody has upped their game. I still can't look at Jake Weary without thinking Kim Zimmer with a beard. He's her, of course.
Imagine how she feels.
He's her son. And they look so much alike. He's a wonderful actor.
And I love his character. And Sean Hatosi.
Why he has not been nominated for an Emmy
so good.
is really criminal.
And I just have to say that with every year, Smurf gets more and more like a caricature.
Oh, the way she walks. Her walk has gone completely out of control.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, I love Ellen Barkin.
Yeah.
I always have. Anyway.
Season 4 of Animal Kingdom right now is happening on TNT, and you should really watch it. If you've never seen the show at all, you should really watch it. It's a very excellent show.
It can be rough, but it's original, even though it's not an original. It's based on an Australian series.
Yes, and I recently saw, not a series, a movie.
Oh,
and I recently saw the
right,
movie, and I have to tell you, I did not like the movie. I did not like it at all. The series is so much more
good,
better.
Yes. Well, it's very
so much more better. Did I just say so much better?
Say so much more better.
That's how better it is.
That's how better it is. Exactly. Anyway, watch it.
Yes, Animal Kingdom on TNT. Now we have a couple of heads ups for you for movies that are coming your way. The first one we'll talk about is called Otherhood, and it will be released in select theaters on August 2nd, but also the same day will be released on Netflix. So I don't know how to say this, but really, why bother go to the theater if you can watch it on Netflix?
Well, unless it's something like The Lion King,
but it's
something
not
big, Yeah,
but it's not.
But it's not.
When they did it with Roma, you really, we enjoyed it on our screen, but I can see why somebody would want to see it on a big screen. It was directed by Cindy Chupak and written by her and Mark Andrus, and it's starring a trio of fabulous actresses, Angela Bassett, Patricia Arquette, and Felicity Huffman.
So it's very female oriented from the top
to bottom,
tip to toe, right?
Yes, and when I saw these three actresses, I was like, I don't even care what it's about. I want to see it. Mm-hmm. But it is about, so it's called Otherhood instead of Motherhood.
In case you didn't figure that out.
Well,
it could be anything, right? They could all become days.
Smotherhood, fatherhood.
They could all become days, and so they're making it Otherhood.
Anyway, it's about three mothers who decide to go together to New York to try to reconnect with their sons who've grown distant, and in that journey, they've
lost touch with them as adult children,
right?
And
But I think it's also what the movie is saying is for mothers sometimes the empty nest syndrome, not knowing who you are without your children, having to completely reevaluate your relationships with friends, with your spouses, with yourself. And I think that's what they're doing.
And needless to say, I'm pretty sure the movie ends up being a voyage of discovery for these women.
Yeah. They travel to New York, but it's also, whenever you see in a movie that it's a movie about traveling to somewhere, it's also about a journey into yourself and to discovering something. And from the trailer, it looked really sweet, really funny, very well written, of course, well acted.
Women. Yeah, love these women.
It looks fun. It really, really looks fun. I think we should all watch it.
Absolutely, I do too.
So it's called Otherhood, and again, it will be released Netflix and theaters, select theaters, on August 2nd.
So we have another new movie heads up called After the Wedding, and it's in theaters this weekend.
Yes,
and
lucky you, because it's not in our theaters this weekend.
No, we're on the theaters. But it could have been. It's a very film society kind of a film, yes. It's directed, let me not bury the lead. It stars Julianne Moore, Michelle Williams, Billy Crudup, and even Will Chase manages to make an appearance, as he does in, I think, everything we watch.
Yeah, but the trio, this movie,
right? It's about a sort of a threesome.
Not like a love
triangle. We think we've only seen a.
It's not like a love triangle that is happening right now, but it's about dark things from the past arising
in the future. And it's directed by Mark Friendlich. I think that's how he pronounces his name. But anyway, it's Julianne Moore's husband. And written by Suzanne Bier, who we like very much. And
Bart Friendlich
and Andreas Thomas Jensen wrote this original screenplay. But it's a remake of it's shot in Copenhagen, the original.
In 2006, which is so funny to do a remake.
Mads Mikkelsen. Yes, but a lot of foreign films they make rather quickly.
Though it was
films.
Directed by Suzanne Bier at the time too, so it's kind of a weird. But what they did do, which was a big difference, is the original movie, the love triangle was two men and a woman,
and this one is two women
and what women did they choose? Oh my God!
And it's about Michelle Williams' character runs an orphanage in India, and she needs financing, and there's a wealthy woman in New York who is wants to speak to her about giving her like $20 million or something for the orphanage. And her Julianne Moore, who's this woman, their daughter's getting married, so she invites her to come to the wedding. And when Julianne Moore introduces Michelle Williams' character to her husband, played by Billy Crudup, there's this sort of instant recognition, and they've had history. And therein lies the tale, I believe. It looks very dark.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's called After the Wedding. I was expecting something like a drama, This looks scary.
Like
it looks scary.
This looks like a thriller.
Julianne Moore looks scary.
Well, Julianne Moore can be scary. That's part of why she's so interesting when she does scary, because she looks, like Little Miss Strawberry or whatever those children's books that she makes. And usually she does play a sunny character because she has a sunny disposition. She's a lovely woman. And I cannot wait to see this movie.
It looks thrilling.
Yes, I wish it were also simultaneously being,
on Netflix, right?
Released on Netflix or Amazon, because I'd like to see it now.
I know.
And I don't know if we're going to get it here or when. But anyway, I just from the previews, I'm so old-fashioned, from the trailer.
It's okay.
And the cast, I would recommend this movie to you.
And speaking of the cast, I just want to say that, in the past it used to be, a movie with Julianne Moore, no problem, yes. I'm there. Ever since Fosse Verdon, or as we like to call it, Verdon Fosse happened, now that I say, a movie with Michelle Williams, great, I'm there.
Well, I've felt that way about Michelle Williams since Dawson's Creek.
Well,
so
some of us are a little late bloomers.
Yes.
But to think about the two of them together, I can't wait to see them in scenes together. That excites me.
It's going to be very exciting. And Bart Friendlich, by the way, his films are always slightly off-center. Most of the films he directs, I think he directed something called Safe, also with Julianne.
Well, if you're married to Julianne Moore, why would you ever choose any other actress to be in your movies?
He has a dark and kind of skewed eye.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. So it's called After the Wedding. We recommend you see it.
Yes, and apparently it's in theaters this weekend. Let us know if you're one of the lucky people who got to see it this weekend. Now, before we give you our brief reaction to the Emmys, we just wanted to really, really quickly tell you about a movie that we...
Yes, last night we wanted to see something that was that had some weight to it. And we found on Amazon Prime for free, if you have
Finally,
Amazon
yes,
Prime.
it took it a while.
A Very Private War, starring...
Not a very private war, a private war.
Oh, sorry. That's a very British scandal. Quite a different
a very
kettle
English,
of fish.
A very English scandal, but that's okay.
A Private War, starring Rosamund Pike as Marie Colvin, one of the world's greatest female war correspondents. I didn't even know about her until I saw this movie. Rosamund Pike is brilliant, and they show you a little bit of Marie Colvin, and she has got her voice, really, really, really down, absolutely pat. And what I discovered from this is an old friend of mine, Marie Brenner. This is based on an article. She's a very well-known writer, and she writes for Vanity Fair as well as novels that she wrote on Colvin for Vanity Fair. And it's a very tough movie. It starts off kind of slow.
Yeah, the first
but of
half
course, I
hour.
was very tired.
No, but I wasn't.
Antihistamine, and I kept nodding off. So,
in case you really wanted the behind the scenes of Lady Parts.
Well, I just want to say why I'm
no, but I wasn't, and I the first half really kind of dragged on. The other thing is that she's such a self-destructive character, and it's not. I don't know how self-destructive she really is. I think a lot of it is PTSD.
PTSD,
and the way she deals with it is just drinking endlessly and smoking endlessly,
which many people do, and especially when you're when you're in these so many conditions of life and death, and you see so much horror, and sometimes you need those kinds of self-destructive outlets.
Of course, it's self-medicating.
Yes.
But also, you get addicted to the adrenaline. And then when
she must be addicted to the adrenaline because she puts herself in the most dire circumstances.
And then when you're back in real life, everything seems so dreary.
Right.
So it's kind of
which is what happens to soldiers.
Right. So it's a vicious cycle. She keeps going back and putting herself in these extremely dangerous situations, even when she doesn't have to, even after she's already been gravely injured. She just has to. She feels, and the reason is she doesn't say that she's addicted to the adrenaline, but she says that she feels compelled to tell these stories. And when you see the stories that she tells,
you understand why.
Not only do you understand why, but the last story she tells, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but the last story she tells, let me just put it this way.
So devastating.
And nothing has changed. It's still going on.
It just makes you want to just start screaming and never stop. Yeah. But also the second half of the movie is both very exciting and very moving. Yeah. Extremely moving.
Jamie Dornan plays her sidekick.
Yes, and he's very good as always. Tom Hollander is in it. He's excellent. He plays her editor at the Sunday Times. But
really, it's
Rosamund Pike's movie, and I think that she was a revelation. I really do. I've never felt. I've always thought she was kind of attractive and a good actress, but I really, really admired this performance deeply.
Yeah, and the movie was, it took us a year to watch it. One of the reasons was because they did not really push the movie very hard during award season.
I'm surprised.
Which, the movie itself, I don't know how much it could have gotten, but I think they should have definitely promoted Rosamund Pike for her performance.
She was nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Which I'm more and more grateful to the Golden Globes every year
for not doing the obvious.
Yeah, for their recognition of performers in movies.
This is actually a great segue.
Yes, it is
into our tiny review of the
Emmy nominations.
So we really are not going to get into it because we have other plans. But let's just say,
our other plans are to do our own.
Yes, and we're going to tell you about it. But I first want to say, every year I tell myself, don't get into it because a lot of it is political, a lot of it is bullshit, a lot of it is just old and tired. And but every year I can't help it. I get excited, hoping to see some of my favorite performances, hoping to see things that I thought were out of this world, and then and then there's Veep again, or
exactly.
Better Call Saul,
Saul.
So
or Game of Thrones,
I definitely feel that way.
I'm always, Game of Thrones should win anything it can.
No,
but
at some point, please.
Yes, I agree.
Most shows that are good don't last just a season or two. They last many seasons, and it's not fair to not let anybody else get in there because they keep winning more and more and more awards.
I used to say this about the daytime Emmys, and I'm going to say it about the primetime Emmys. Yes, I think after you've won 5 Emmys, you should remove yourself from competition.
Right.
I think,
or the board or the Academy should remove you from it.
Well,
anyway,
somebody should remove you from it.
There should be a limit because otherwise you don't get new people.
And not only that, you're doing the same thing. You're playing
which
the
is
same
what they're
character.
doing.
If you've won 5 Emmys for doing different things, or 3 Emmys for one, that's different. But it's also for the same character.
But also, I feel that there are certain actors that no matter what they do, they'll get a nomination. For example, Viola Davis. We haven't been watching the latest few seasons of How to Get Away with Murder just because it was so bad
and so boring.
And Viola, as much as I've loved her in many, many things, and I think she's a fine actress.
She's phoning in.
It's also the character is so
thing. Yeah, she's vile, but that's not.
No, it's not even she's vile. She's repetitive. She's
and also self-destructive.
Yeah, it's so not.
But it's the same thing year after year after year.
But she will always get nominated because she's Viola Davis. Right. So
or Regina King.
Exactly. Again, fine actresses, but should not be nominated automatically for whatever they do. So. I put it out there because we wanted to do a vlog about the nominations. We had intended to do a vlog, go over all the nominations as we always do. And when I was reading the nomination, I was like, this is not inspiring to me. It inspires rage. It inspires,
disappointment.
But it doesn't inspire excitement. So Rachel, smart Rachel, said, why don't you do your own awards? And I was like, hello,
stop bitching and do something about it.
That makes total sense. And not only are we going to do our own awards, who's going to vote on them? You are. So, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to announce our nominations. If you want to remind us of certain performances or certain TV shows that you think should get a nomination, please let us know. ladypartsvlog@gmail.com or ladypartstv@gmail.com.
Don't bother mentioning
Gentleman Jack is already in there.
And really, Fosse Verdon either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, oftentimes, we actually keep a list throughout the year to remind ourselves of shows that were, let's say, in January, and by the time the Emmys roll along, we forget. But who knows? We may have forgotten other things. So let us know. And in a couple of weeks,
Yes, and also we can't watch everything.
Though we try.
We try, but there are
certainly anything that's female-centric.
Right, and drama.
And
we're
drama,
very drama-centric.
right.
There's a lot of comedies we don't watch.
That's right. Although it's been getting better.
Yep, it has been getting better. I want to mention one. I know we weren't going to mention any nominations, but I just have to mention one that I'm very thrilled about, and it is very original. And that's my darling, my beloved Kristen Scott Thomas as a guest actress.
Though we don't.
On Fleabag, which we don't watch, but
No.
we heard about this, and we did watch it, and she was divine. And I'm very excited about that.
It's very fun. And she was wonderful.
She was wonderful.
Very different from what she usually does.
Yes.
So anyway, in a couple of weeks, we will let you know. Please follow us both on our website, ladypartstv.com. Join our mailing list so that you're always in the know. Follow us on social media. And we will let you know as soon as the nominations are up, and we're going to give you the opportunity to vote. And let's have our own award show. Let's bring the power back to the people.
Which I seem to be
the
doing
women.
a lot lately.
Thank you so much for joining us as always. We will see you right back here next week. And
have a lovely week. I hope it doesn't get too hot where you are.
Oh, I think most of these people it's going to get too hot.
Well, then stay cool.
Bye.